Ooh, this says confidential. Oh well, we already opened it.
Join the team.
Hey team, this is McGuire Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at some new stuff out of Wizkids. That is the Fangs and Talons. This is a brand new set that they have, and we are going to open up these two boxes here. What we'll do is we will start with, let's start with the littler one here, and then we'll get into this one here. So we'll get the cleave out and open this up and see what we got. And we'll take a look at each one of these up close as well. And this is mainly going to be, you know, a review of these miniatures. We're not just going to take a look at them. I am going to go through. I do like to spend some time and take a look at each one of these. There is a big model. Oh, look at this. Look at this purple worm. Let's throw this over here. Wow. Oh my, purple worm is what it's called. Purple worm. That is the only thing that is on the bottom of this one. There is no numbering or anything. Look at that. That is insane. Oh my god, it's huge. It's so cool, too. The paint job's amazing. I love the purple. So let's just set that to the side for a second. Let me get these out of here. Let's put the cleave over here, and let's grab somebody for scale. Our classic, I always call it a bard, but it's not. It's a cleric. So the classic Elf Cleric we will pull out here. Just for some scale, you can see how big the purple worm is. And I wonder if, yes! One of the models actually fit inside of the mouth of the purple worm. The base actually fits inside of the mouth. So that's cool. I mean, I like that they opened the mouth that far on it, which is going to give you some really fun play styles and things that you can do. You can see there that the purple worm can absolutely swallow one of the players. So in looking at the model a little bit closer, it's got some really nice deep cuts in it. Down through here on the different, I don't know what the technical term would be of a worm, those little segments. But it's got some nice deep cutting. Some of them are deeper than others, which is a cool choice as well. Like here in the model, there's almost no cutting at all. There's somewhat of a slight line, but no cutting. Or like here, there's a super deep cut in that bend. So I like that there's some variation there. I like the washing they've done on the horns. Well, I don't know if these are really horns. They kind of look like horns. I mean, they definitely look like bones and like a bone type, you know, material, or the way that it's the way that it's painted looks like it's kind of a bone sort of coming up out of that worm, which is pretty cool. And I do like that they went with more of a kind of a rounded style versus a pointy kind of like a almost like a claw or a talon or something coming up out of the worm. It is more of a blunt, rounded type of bone that's sticking up out of that, which is pretty cool. And then the underside is done with some nice worm belly-like sculpting with quite a bit of wash that's on the underside of the worm. And then the base is a really cool rock. I keep saying Base is a really cool rock that is sculpted with quite a bit of wash on it as well. It carries, you know, it definitely has a yellowish brown undertone with a darker wash over the top of it. Or maybe a brown, yeah, it's a brown wash that's over the top of it, which I think looks really good. They could have used a darker wash here. Maybe it would have pulled the details of the rocks out a little bit more, but I actually prefer the coloring and the look that they went with here because it gives you that rocky, dirt-like appearance, and that's the point. It's supposed to be the worm kind of blasting up through the ground and then coming down for the attack on one of the characters. So really, really well done. I also like the purple. One of the things when I first saw this, to be honest, I thought that was an interesting choice of purple, because this purple I've seen on other models, but sometimes it's a little bit darker, sometimes it's a little bit brighter. And I thought, I wonder what it would have looked like. And I'm sure they go through different prototypes when they're developing these and the color schemes. I wonder what it would have looked like with a brighter, not a neon purple, but a brighter purple than the purple that they chose here. Would it have made the inside of the mouth pop a little bit more? Because that dark red does get lost a little bit with the darker purple. And I think if the purple would have been a little bit lighter, it would have made the inside and the teeth and the bones actually pop even more. Now, I don't know. Like, maybe the lighter purple would have looked a little too cartoonish. They're really going for a very realistic, kind of deadly look here. So I think the purple that they chose ultimately works better for the overall piece. But from a color contrast perspective, maybe a lighter purple would have made some of these other things pop a little bit more. Just my personal opinion, but I do believe for the overall piece and the overall design of this, the darker purple probably works better and looks more deadly. And when it's in some good lighting, there is still quite a bit of contrast between the red and the purple. Okay, so I'm really giving you guys my thoughts sort of on the fly as I'm opening this in these boxes. I've not opened any of this stuff, so I'm opening it on camera. I'm giving you my thoughts on camera, live, kind of on the spot. And I feel like that's more of, I won't say truthful. I think that's not the right word. It's. I think that's more of just a on the spot kind of feel on what I'm seeing here. Love the piece. Love the sculpt. This is an amazing piece to own and to have. Highly recommend, if you can get your hands on that, to pick up this worm. That is amazing. Okay, we're going to get into the larger box here. Okay, wow. There is let me put this up here because it's not part of the set. There's a ton of stuff that's in here. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's in here. So let's pull, some of these look so cool. Let's pull some of this up and get this out. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? I may actually keep this because this is a pretty cool box and it's specifically made for this. This candle's not lit, is it? Oh, God. Woo! All right, so the first item that we have here is, now these are numbered, the Green Hag, 37 of 45. Really cool looking. I really like the skin tone they've got here with the washing. This one's a really nice one. We're going to see all of these up close as well as we get them out. We do have this one's neat. This is a Tri-Drone, 35 of 45. This one's actually a really cool sculpt. I really like the design choices on this. This one's really, really cool. Love that one. And then, I thought it was it's not. This is a gas spore. A gas spore. 40 of 45. That's a fairly unique one there. I thought it was a little beholder at first when I saw it, but that's pretty cool. The gas spore. I mean, you could use that for a number of things, I'm sure, within your campaigns. That would be absolutely hilarious. Okay, we've got a green slot at 39 of 45. I love this sculpt. This is so cool. It's basically a frog humanoid creature, almost looking like somewhat of a warlock or a druid kind of in its look. The paint job's amazing. I really like the browns that they've got here on this model. And I really like the posing. This is definitely a new favorite sculpt of mine. This is outstanding. So we're going to put that right up there. Let's get two of these elementals out, is what this looks like here. Yep, we've got a fire elemental and an air elemental. This is 27 of 45 and 28 of 45. And both of these are done really well. And one thing that you may notice about the elementals in this particular set, because there have been elementals in a number of other sets, is these are pretty large. Most of the time, these elementals are smaller. They may be the same size as a normal sculpt, or maybe just a little bit bigger. I don't remember seeing in a long time elementals that are this large. So I'm loving that they went this route, because when you think about, a magic-based character casting an elemental against something else, or just bringing it out to be used for some reason, you would think that it would be larger and more powerful in comparison to the size of a character. So these are really well done elementals, and the sculpting looks great. I love the sculpting. You can even get some feel and some expression in this air elemental here. It's hard to see. You'll see it on the close-up miniature cam, that there's like a face kind of sculpted in, and it's kind of like, it's got kind of this look to it with its fists sort of coming out. So I absolutely love the dynamic posing and the sculpting, and that's not easy to do with something like this. So really, really well done in the sculpting and dynamic posing there on the air elemental. The fire looks really cool as well. It just has more of kind of a menacing sort of look with all the flames licking around. Love the paint job on this one. Paint's done really well. I really like the paint on this one, how they've done just sort of the orange, the solid orange look with the translucent plastic, and then sort of painted it with a little bit of yellow dry brushing to lick all those flames and really bring that out. Love the way the tail was done a little deeper as well, as it kind of curls around the backside. Really like the fire elemental, but I'm going to have to say I think the air elemental is definitely my favorite from the set, just because of the facial dynamic posing and the sculpting there. I absolutely love the air elemental. So cool. Okay. Next one here, we got the Incubus at 36 of 45. This is an Incubus here, and it definitely has more of a male type sculpting to it. So this looks really cool and is a very unique sculpt. I think this can be used for a lot of different things. The tail is really cool, and the wings look fantastic. This deep, deep black. Now, they could have just went with a red and then just, like, washed it, but they actually went with a black outline and a paint of all of those different little, I don't want to say limbs, those, I don't know exactly what you would call those. But they went with a deep black outline on that wing on all of that. And it looks really, really cool, which matches perfectly with the kind of garb that is wearing there at the bottom with that black and that red. I think that's the exact same. It's the exact same coloring. So that really ties together really well and looks really good. Okay, we got another one here, which is a Vampiric Mist. This is interesting. 22 of 45. A Vampiric Mist. Now, that's a really unique piece that just kind of looks like a puff of smoke. There's sort of like a little tail on it. It's not a tail. It's just supposed to be kind of the ending of it. But then it's got these little tiny, like, very, very tiny, just like little hand-drawn on red lines. So that's a really interesting piece there. I don't know anything like that. Here we got the Tavx Fighter, which is a 34 out of 45. This one's really cool. I got a few of these here, few of these sculpts. These are becoming more and more popular and a more and more popular race to play. I have never played one myself, but I do know a lot of people that have, and I'm really liking the patterns they did here with the blacks on that yellow. Look really, really good. The face is incredibly well done and tight. And I like the fighter posing with the little, what is that, a rapier? That's a rapier, and just sort of like a standard buckler, little smaller type circular shield. So that really looks really cool as well. They could have went with a larger shield, but I like that they went with that smaller, rounder shield. It really gives it that fighter look and that rapier. So that's a cool design and piece. Here we got the Banshee, 23 of 45. I have seen quite a few Banshees in the last sets over the years. This one has a very different posing and look, with the hand out and the hair just blown back, kind of like a kind of approach, where it's all translucent with that light coloring, but there's a little bit of washing that's taken a little bit of that away, kind of in the chest and face area, which is a really cool look. And then they went back after that and put some nice bright red glow around the eyes and the mouth. That is just a really, really cool look and design. This is probably my favorite Banshee to date, I would say, because of how they've done that and that posing of that hair just kind of coming out like that. This is done excellent. Put that right there. Okay, we got 31 of 45. This is a Yanti Anathema. I don't know. It's kind of hard to read because it doesn't have the very good white. I think that's what it says. Okay, so this is kind of, I don't want to say like a Medusa because it's not. I mean, conceptually from all the snake heads on the top, but this is more of a full-scale, you could say humanoid snake type creature with all of the snakes coming off of the head there. I like it. Okay, the Medusa snake person. There it is right there. It's not Medusa, but... Okay, ooh, loving this one. What is this little guy? He's a merd. 29 of 45. How cool is... Man, there is some really... I love these... Now, this is a different type of... This is definitely a different type of thing. This is more of like a toad / frog type. And this is something different. Got kind of the magical sort of wind tunnel of water under it there as it like wisps through the water. This is a very cool piece. Wow, there is a bunch of awesome pieces in this one. Oh, look at this. The Young Blue Dragon, 43 of 45. Oh, it's so cool. And look at the posing on that. How different and unique is that? Very unique look. And the wings. Oh, yes. Okay, now it makes more sense. Okay, so it's sort of coming down at, right, on top of kind of at something. Almost kind of like a little like sliding into base sort of move. How awesome is that? And I love the blue that they used on this. It's a rich, light blue. I am so glad they went with this look versus a darker blue that is normally the blue that would be used on a blue dragon like this. It's a lighter baby blue, and it just has an awesome contrast with the almost greenish gray that's used here in the wings. And there is a little bit of paint. It's not splotching. It's almost like they sort of and it is on purpose, okay? It's throughout the gray, like these little pits of sort of blue that's also on this part, just to tie it all together. This, I think, is my favorite model. Awesome is that. Look at this big guy. This is a fire giant skeleton, 42 of 45. The last time I remember getting a fire giant was probably over 10 years ago, 10 or 12 years ago. There was a big fire giant in one of the sets. I can't remember. I've got it over there in the case. And now the fire giant skeleton can go right along with it. That's so cool. All right, what do we have here? A weird looking, some type of fish. Aboleth is a 41 out of 45. Another cool little fish type serpent creature there. The paint job on this one is done really well. It isn't just painted in sort of these aqua colors. I love the way that the mouth is done with them teeth is circular all the way around. It isn't just aqua colors, but it's also then finished off in a high gloss that's really giving it that slick, watery look and feel. So they did a great job on the paint with that one. Oh, what do we have here? This is the Kieran. 33 out of 45. And this looks so cool. I thought it was a unicorn. It's not because I saw this. But this just looks to be like hair. I don't know if this is supposed to be something. It's definitely part of its hair. But it kind of comes up almost in sort of a unicorn type look. It is all gold, which I like the gold. And it's washed. So that gold is washed. So it's not super bright. It's got some dark tones and hints to it. Within a metallic. It's not just a purple. This is a full metallic purple underneath that's going all along the bottom side. Such an awesome sculpt on that one too. Team, I am blown away with the sculpts that are in this set. This set is on point. Look at this thing. Nightwalker, 45 out of 45. There it is. It's the 45 ultra rare. Boom! Look at that. Oh, man, this is so cool. The black is done really well. It's a grayish black with a little bit of a gray brushing that's going over that, but it's done very, very well. It doesn't look like the standard sometimes where they'll do brushing and it will look like it's kind of brushed. The paint on this black color here, it's done so well. Like, so well. I'm really impressed. And the eyes are just dotted in with a teal color and a little bit of white. They're super nice and tight, and they just pop with that black, that darker color. The big horns was a great choice for the sculpting there. They could have just went with smaller horns that ended right there. But these type of horns here really locks it in for the style of the sculpt. Also with the longer fingers and kind of, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like blue flame or just, necrotic kind of magic sort of coming off the backside and the legs there. But oh my God, it looks so awesome. And in the light, you can see how it's picking up kind of the darker blue that's phasing out into that grayish white. Oh, I don't know. I might have just found a new favorite sculpt. This is insane. I love this blue dragon, though. That's hard to beat. But this, I don't know. This might be it. That is just insane. I mean, that would look phenomenal in a case just displayed by itself. I mean, Wizkids. Come on! This is awesome. All right. The Flail Snail is 38 of 45. This is an interesting one. I will say it's also carrying that slick gloss that's been put over, much like we saw here on this little fishy up front. It's kind of got that slimy... Oh, and look at this. I just noticed this. They've got even some of that snail goo that's like coming down off the front here that's attached. At first I thought that was just like that was how it was attached to the base. No, it's also back here as well as it's kind of sliming off of that tail. Well done. That is very cool. I love the shell that they did here. The paint job on this shell is amazing. It is a metallic blue that is almost sprayed over top of what looks like a metallic... it's like a metallic brown almost, with even some orange hints. I love the way they did the shell on this. The shell looks absolutely amazing. The pieces in this set are insane. These are... Oh my God. These are some of the best pieces I think I've seen in any set. Here we got the Dire Troll, 32 of 45, and I'm loving this one as well. Where you got the troll with all the other little trolls popping out. A lot you can do with this model. The paint job on this one is done phenomenally well. Everything is super tight, and there's a lot of different colors on this that's coming out of the different... They really stepped it up here. This set really... I'm trying not to geek out here, but you have to understand... These are mass-produced models, and the fact that they're getting such high quality with the paint and the detail, the sculpting, the coloring, and the price that you're paying to get 4 of these in a set, I don't know, team. For me, it just doesn't really get any better for the money to not have to paint them to look this good, and for the number of them that you're getting in a box for the price that you're paying. Wizkids is really coming strong. So that is the Dire Troll, looking absolutely deadly, and that looks awesome. The last one is one I was really excited about, which is the T-Rex. Looks like the tail is stuck in the bag. So let me get this in here. Here it is, the mighty T-Rex, and it is just fully called the Tyrannosaurus Rex, 30 of 45, and that's it. It's an awesome T-Rex. It's a great sculpt. It's very deep cut. The paint is, again, amazing on this one. And this is another one of these that I think, what a great display if you're into collecting sort of the dinosaur sculpts. That's an amazing sculpt right there on its own. looks awesome. Unreal, team. All right. That was the Fangs and Talons brand new Wizkids set. They really, really, really nailed it on this set for me. Everything looks awesome. These larger models are getting better and better. The detail that is on these are getting better and better. The smaller ones, with every release of the set, the paint gets richer and higher quality. But when it comes to these larger sculpts and what they're doing with the sculpting as well as the paint jobs on these, they're absolutely amazing. Again, that's how I like to do these, team. I want this to be sort of on camera, on the fly. It's what I think right when I'm looking at it. I don't want to open it before. I don't want to have all these prepped, like, I'll talk about this and then I'll call that out and I'll this or that. I want to have it live on camera, exactly what I think, exactly what I'm seeing, and you get the most raw result that you're going to get from me, because that's how I feel about these things. Wizkids has really nailed it on this new set. I'm really excited about where this stuff is going in the future. And this right here, what they've been able to do over the course of the last few years gets me really excited about what we're going to see in these lines 5 years from now. Like, I can only imagine how, as costs lower, they're able to do even higher quality paint jobs, even higher quality sculpting than even what they have today. And what they're doing today is, in my opinion, well beyond table-ready stuff. I mean, this is just so good! So good, man! All right, team, that's the brand new set, Fangs and Talons. Go check it out. If it is out now, available for retail, if you want to get your hands on any of these sculpts, I highly recommend this set. It is extremely reusable. In almost every single one of these sculpts, I can think of many different things they can be used for across both Dungeons & Dragons and Pathfinder campaigns, or any other RPG that you're playing, and Wizkids is definitely your source for both of those areas. So hit that like, click the subscribe below to join the team. Keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time.